On this beautiful Sunday, welcome everyone to the Center of Love. I think everyone here is familiar with the project that we are currently engaged in of unifying the world through love, vanquishing fear, and bringing people together across all kinds of imaginary divides. I was at a concert 2 weeks ago in Seattle and I made friends with some people behind me, a bunch of Americans from across the country. They had all come to see the same band that we were there to see. And as we started to warm up with these people and get a little friendlier, at one point, I referred to them as my brothers and sisters, and they were like, "Well, you guys are Canadians," and I said, "Well, I don't let lines drawn on a piece of paper tell me who's my family and who's not." And that's what this center is all about, my friends. The recognition that we are all indeed one. And today we gather at the turning of the wheel on the summer solstice, the longest day of the year, light's climax at the peak of the annual cycle of seasons. And it's interesting to me that Father's Day falls on the winter solstice this year. I think there's something very appropriate about that. The sun being the father of our solar system, being celebrated at the same time as the earthly fathers. Now, if you'll recall, at the winter solstice, we were together and we gathered in the dark. We lit candles. We reflected on the year behind us. We gave thanks and we released what we no longer wish to carry forward. Winter invited us inward into stillness, into mystery, into the hidden places where seeds are planted beneath the soil. And those seeds come to fruition in summer. Summer is what has come into form. It's what's taken root. It's what has bloomed into visibility, what has ripened in the warmth of time, attention, and love. So today we gather not only to celebrate the light around us, and it is bright out there, beautiful and sunny, but also to recognize the light within us and to ask ourselves, what has grown in me since winter? What has come into bloom? What is alive in me right now? And how might I offer that light to others? Before we dive in, I invite all of you to take a nice, slow breath in. And when your lungs are full, just let it go. Let's take a couple more of those nice, slow breaths in. And one more. And as you breathe, let yourself arrive fully in this moment. Let your body be here. Let your mind be here. And let your heart be here. This moment asks nothing from you except your presence. So today we've got a ritual for honoring the summer solstice, and it is a 3-part ritual. In the first part, we are going to reflect on what has grown within us since winter. Second, we're going to name what is alive in us now. And third, we will make an offering together by creating a communal sun wheel, which you can see at the small table in front of me there. And this sun wheel will be made from the light each one of us carries. How does that sound? Okay. Well, let's get right into it then. So if it feels comfortable for you, I encourage you to gently close your eyes and just get comfortable in your seat. Allow your breath to come and go naturally. No need to force it or do anything unnatural. Just allow yourself to breathe and relax. And as you do this, I would like you to bring to mind the winter solstice. You don't need to remember the details perfectly. Just remember the energy in the room and the spirit of our gathering on December 21st. Remember the darkness, the candlelight, the tenderness of a community turning together toward hope, release, and renewal. Now, slowly bring your awareness forward across these past 6 months. What has shifted in you since the winter solstice? What has softened in you? What has become stronger? What have you survived in the last 6 months? What have you learned? What has healed, even if it's only a little tiny bit? What truth has become clearer to you since the winter solstice? What new life has quietly emerged in you? Perhaps something you longed for in the winter has now begun to take shape. Perhaps a quality has grown in you: patience, courage, clarity, trust, compassion, honesty, acceptance, faith. Perhaps a relationship has deepened. Perhaps a grief has become gentler. Perhaps you are not where you thought you would be, but you are more real, more awake, and more your authentic self. Without forcing anything, simply notice: what has come into bloom in me? Now ask yourself one more question. What light has been entrusted to me? Not the light of performance or the light of perfection, but the particular light that is yours to tend. What warmth, truth, gift, presence, or way of being has life been cultivating in you? And now, very gently, how might I offer that light to my family, to my friends, to my community, to strangers, to this world? When you're ready, you can open your eyes. All right, so in a moment, I'm going to invite you folks to grab those slips of paper that are on the glass table. There's pens there as well. And I'm going to invite you to take one of those, maybe more than one paper, Ray, because I think we have an abundance. And I'm going to invite you to write something on it. You might write a quality that has grown in you since winter, a truth that has become visible, a gift you want to offer in the season ahead, a word that names what is alive in you now, or a prayer for how you want to tend your light. This doesn't have to be polished or profound, or doesn't have to be perfectly written. A single word is enough, or a short phrase, whatever comes to you. For example, you might just write down the word courage on the slip of paper, or gentleness. You might say something like, I want to bring peace. I want to share my voice. I want to live more honestly. So you're going to write something on your paper ray, something that is a quality that has grown in you since winter, a truth that has become visible, a gift you want to offer in the season ahead, a word that names what is alive in you now, or a prayer of how you want to tend your light. Quality that has grown in you, a truth that has become visible, a gift you want to offer in the season ahead, a word that names what is alive in you now, or a prayer for how you want to tend your light. In fact, as you know, in this community, we abhor dogma rules. So if you want to write something totally different on your ray that isn't part of the instructions, not only do we encourage it, I hope you will write what comes to our in mind for you. If you're a keener like me and you've already written your answers, just enjoy this time to contemplate what it is that you've written, to sit with it, let it mingle and become a part of you. As people finish writing their messages on their sun rays, the next thing that we're going to do is one by one, we're going to place our rays around the sun. At the center is the light that holds us all, the light of love, of source, of the great mystery, God, Tao, whatever language speaks most truly to you. And around that center, we will place our rays, our words, our offerings, our prayers, until many lights become one shared sun. Does anybody have any extra rays of sunshine they want to add on before we move forward? Oh, that's good. That is good. So if everybody wants to take a look at what we've made together here this morning, as you know, this is a lot more than just a symbol. It's actually a portrait of our community. As you know, no single person carries the whole light. But together, something beautiful appears when we come together. Illumination becomes possible. This is one of the great gifts of gathering like this in community. We remind one another of what is real. We strengthen what is good. We witness what is growing. And we call each other into bloom. And so before we close, I'd like to invite us into one final reflection. You don't need to speak this out loud unless you want to. Just let the words land inside you. In this season of light, what do I want to remember? What do I want to embody? What do I want to give? And perhaps most importantly, how will I tend the light entrusted to me? Now let us close this ritual together. If it feels right, you can place one hand on your heart. And if you'd like, you could extend your other hand slightly outward toward the sun wheel that we've created today as a community. Please join me in this blessing. On this longest day, we give thanks for the light that brightens our path, for the life that grows within us, and for the love that brings us together. We honor what has come into bloom. We bless what is still becoming. We welcome the fullness of this season with gratitude, humility, and joy. May the light within us be tended with care. May the gifts within us be offered courageously. May the warmth we have received become warmth for others. May what is brightest in us serve what is deepest in all. And may we walk from here as people who do not merely admire the light, but embody it. May it shine. All right. When you're ready, you can come back to the room. And that's it. Happy solstice, my dear friends.